morning. It's Monday, September the 29th. I'm gonna try something new this week, I think. I'm gonna see how I feel about going back to uploading daily. I know people have very strong feelings, I've learned. Like, some people really like daily uploads, some people want it in week format. And I understand everybody has their preference. I just kind of want to see how it goes during the school year, because I'm trying to make it so that when the weekends come, I have very minimal work to do. And as I've mentioned before, it's just easier to edit a day's work. It's not that it's easier, it's just less time consuming. Or it feels easier, however you want to phrase it, to edit and upload daily. But we'll see, because, you know, work days are busy. And so we'll see if I get home on a consistent basis and feel like I have the wherewithal to edit a video. So we'll see. I'm gonna give it a try this week and see how that goes. But it's Monday, it's before school. If you watch my last two vlogs that I uploaded over the weekend because I got behind, you know that I've been struggling the past couple weeks just with balancing my life, work life, life in general, having the energy, and then I was out of town, and it's been a rough couple of weeks. Like, we are in the thick of it. Parent conferences are over, with the exception of a couple that I still have to do. And so this morning and over the weekend, I was like, okay, next week we gotta get back on our game. We gotta lock in. So I did exercise over the weekend, which made me feel better. Last night I went to bed later than what I should have. I went to bed at between 10:30 and 11, and I said, but you're still gonna get up, you're gonna exercise, so when that alarm goes off at 4:20 in the morning, you're gonna get up, you're gonna get it done, because we need to get ourselves back on track. And I do understand giving yourself grace, but even in your grace, you can't like start calling everything grace when really you're just making excuses. So I got up, I exercised, I felt better, and like I've said before, I never regret exercising. So when that alarm goes off and I'm struggling, I have to tell myself, you're not gonna regret exercising. You're not gonna finish exercising and say to yourself, I really wish I hadn't done that. But you always regret when you don't. So I got it done. Got to school, and here I am. So I'm just cutting out these fluency passages. I think what I'm gonna try and do on Mondays, we're not gonna have soft starts on Mondays, because we've changed that to them doing grade checks, which I think is more important. And normally during soft starts, I'm checking homework. But on Monday, since I don't have homework to check, I think it would be a good time for me to do fluency practice. So I'm gonna take the fluency passages from Wonders, call them back one at a time, and have them do some fluency practice. And we'll see how that goes. It's been a rough morning. My printer's not working. We don't know why. Then I went to the staff lounge to print something, since we have printers there. One of those printers said, nope, I'm not printing it either. Just as I was about to lose on the second printer, it decided to print. Got that done, because I was trying to print these. Then when I came back, suddenly my key card said, or the door said, I will not accept your key card. Try again, please. Tried again. Still, it said, no, still not gonna do it. And that's when I was really getting upset. Then I had to go to the office to tell the school secretary, hey, my key card's not working. So she walks over with me to see what's going on and see if she needs to reprogram it. And she says, you know what, just try it again for me. And of course, I tried again and it works. And that's how my day's going so far. So I'm really just here to say good morning. So I'm gonna try and upload daily. So yeah, I will check in with you later. Let's hope the day, not that it's bad, but it's been annoying for the past 15 minutes. Let's hope that it gets better. Okay. I am at recess, right? Oh boy. I'm at recess. I'm at recess right now. I am stapling homework packets because I didn't get a chance to this morning with all the annoying technical issues I was having. My key card is now working. Found out that there's something going on with the system. Whatever system it is that runs the key cards has some glitches, because the principal wasn't able to get into her office this morning. So after I spoke to you, the morning didn't necessarily get better. It got a little bit more annoying, but I think we're back on track now. So I didn't get my homework packet stapled. So I'm doing that during my little 11-minute recess. We are in the middle of doing pictorial synonyms, which I think I showed you before when we tried it the first time. Basically, this is how I'm introducing the vocabulary for the wonder stories that we're going to read. There we go. So for example, the word that we left off on is encounter. I give them 6 images. They discuss as a group which one they think is the best representation and then justify their reasoning. So that is what they are working on right now. When they get back from recess, we literally have about 30 minutes before they have to go home, and those 30 minutes go by pretty quickly. They took their math quiz today. That went relatively smoothly. And then we did their little story presentations. I don't know if I shared it with you guys, but I took this assignment from TCI. It's like the processing assignment after lesson 1, and just repurposed it using Canvas slides so that I can create like a speaking grade from it. So they wrote this original story where they had to talk about a gold miner that was in search of gold and discuss how the landforms that this gold miner would encounter while walking the lands of California, how those landforms would have affected him, or what landforms he or she, well really, he would have seen. So they got up to read their stories. When I had the first student go up, I realized this could take a long time because I don't know how long their stories are. So I told them I was gonna set a timer for 2 minutes, and their grade is gonna be based on those 2 minutes of them sharing out. And if they didn't finish the story in 2 minutes, that's fine, because I just needed enough to hear them so that I can properly assess them. And there are 4 categories, and I'll show that to you guys later, that they're graded on a scale of 1 to 10. I also let them know they're being graded on how well they listen to their classmates as they are sharing their story. So as long as they were sitting and attentively listening, then they were fine. So we did that, and then pictorial synonyms. I did read a book that I really liked. I'm gonna show it to you. This was a book I was supposed to read on Friday, but we just didn't have time. And I think I showed it in the last vlog, but I got a chance to read it today, and I really did like it. It is called Sweep, that one right there. And it's really about a boy that's like in a bad mood, and his mood just continues to get progressively worse throughout the day. And it's symbolized through this pile of leaves that just grows and grows throughout the book. And it talks about how for a while he just was in the mood, and the mood was like, we want to stay in this bad mood and we're not going to change. And then suddenly he looks up and he sees something that makes him feel better, and then eventually his bad mood goes away, and then he's in a better mood. So I really liked it. I don't know, it was a little awkward to read in the beginning. I think like there was something about the rhythm that was throwing me off. I had never read it before, so it was like a cold read for me. But once I got past that, I really liked it. Then at the end of it, I was curious to see if the kids would pick up on what the message was. So I said, this is a book that is about fall, because when fall comes, leaves fall. And people end up having to rake up leaves. Not so much here in Southern California. We don't really go through that a whole lot. But I asked them to discuss with their group, what really is the book about? Like, what do you think the author was really trying to convey with this story? So I had them discuss with their group, and they were really good. They were really good about identifying the fact that if you're in a bad mood and you don't do anything about it, it'll just grow and grow and grow. And that sometimes you have to like look outside yourself, or look at other things, or find something positive to think of to get you out of that mood. Because if you don't, the mood will, or your bad mood will affect others. So I thought it was really good that they were able to pick up on that. But that's pretty much how the day has gone so far. So just getting these homework packets stapled. They'll be going home in about 30, 40 minutes. And then my goal today is to start grading the math test. And there was something else I wanted to do today. And I have an IEP meeting after school, and a student's ID is currently sitting in the trash can. So I need to go get that. But I'll talk to you later. It's 5:05. I'm getting ready to go home now. I was really gonna try and go to happy hour with my friend, but they wanted to eat by 6. I have to get home and what do you call it? Make sure I walk the dogs, and I haven't even left yet. And so by the time I were to leave and walk the dogs, it'd be past 6. And there were certain things that I had to do before I left. One of which was I needed to make sure I had my slides for tomorrow, which I do have. And I needed to make sure I had my Wonders small group slides made. The small group slides are the things that tell them what to do when they're not actively meeting with me at the back table. And I want it to be things that is related to what they're learning, and that story block is what I'll call it, but not something that is very tedious for me to grade. And so I'm still in the process of deciding where I want to source that from. I used some vocabulary items last week. I had to start a trial, but that trial has run out. We don't have a school subscription. The principal, I think, is currently thinking about getting us one. So in the meantime, I just really got in on the Wonders website, or Connected, or whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of things on there, and I feel like it's evolved a little bit since I used it in 3rd, but a lot of it is still the same. It's just there's something about the design of it that's not super efficient to me. Like, there are activities that you can do with the class whole group that will reinforce the skill, and I'll show you the one I'm gonna use, maybe not tomorrow, but the day after. And there's some where it's like a more game format where the students can practice. And so, long story short, what I ended up deciding to do was basically, they're all gonna have something to do with their reader. So I'm gonna meet with them. We start the reader together. We read a few pages. And then on their to-do list, which looks like this, I need to be kind of careful because I don't want to show student names, but which looks like this. This is one of the groups. They're gonna finish the reader, and they're gonna take the AR test. And then they have a language arts notebook. They're gonna answer a question from the reader. This group is gonna answer the question, how did Leopold create a balanced ecosystem in the Wisconsin forest? They're gonna complete practice book page 21, which strictly focuses on the vocabulary words we did work with today. And then they're gonna have some to-do items on the Wonders website, which are vocabulary review activities, as well as the comprehension skill review activities, which this week is going to be ask and answer questions and cause and effect, and the vocabulary skills homographs. So I tried to pick all the activities that are pretty straightforward, that are fail-proof, easy to look at, and if they have any time left, they can do AR, ST Math, or unfinished work. So I assigned that. And then the other thing, what was I just thinking about? Oh, and then I went in to look at the scores. I gave them the selection test online at the beginning of last week, which is different from the weekly assessment. The weekly assessment is on 2 whole new passages that incorporate the comprehension skill and the vocabulary skill, whereas the selection test is based on the longer of the 2 stories. So I assigned that one online just for the ease of grading. Looked at the score, and what I don't like, I closed it, and maybe I'll show it to you tomorrow, is they have this great feature where it's the class score sheet, and it will tell you how each student did by question, which is great, but I'm like, within the class score sheet, I feel like I should have a spreadsheet that tells me the average of each individual question, so that I can see, okay, there was a trend here, or this particular question consistently was a struggle. I know I can collect that data on my own by going down and tallying, and I just wasn't emotionally ready to do that today. So maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But I'm like, why wouldn't you add that? It just seems like a logical feature to have. But who am I? I'm just a teacher in Southern California. I'm not a web designer. I'm not a curriculum designer. So, but if there's anybody out there that works for Wonders, I don't understand, okay, why you wouldn't have added that. So, got all that done. I'm ready for tomorrow. I could walk in tomorrow and be good to go. And that's the goal, with the exception of I need to change the date. I'm very bad about that. So I'm gonna go home now. I'm gonna end up cooking. If you'd like to know what I'm taking home, I'm gonna take home the math test. I'm not gonna finish all these. I'm going to start them, and that's one of the things I have to tell myself. You don't have to finish the whole task in one day. You can start it one day, pick it up the next day, and for some reason that's very hard for me to accept, but I need to. So I'm gonna take that home. This is my where I put all my answer keys. I don't know if I showed this to you guys, but I just bought these. I think these are called like portfolios, so that I just have all the answer keys printed and I just always have them in a nice neat place. I'm taking that. I don't need to take this science home. I don't need to do that. I just saw a pile of paper that made me stress. I'm gonna take this book home. My principal shared this with me. She loves this book. We were just talking about books because I'm borrowing the book Island Born from the front office. They have it on display and I want to read that with my class tomorrow, and that's a book that I contemplated buying, but I was like, let's read that first. And then we started talking about books, and then she was saying how much she loved this book, and I didn't even know Ashanti wrote a book, but she seems to love it. So I want to read it so I can see what it is all about and give it back to her. And I'm taking my math tea. And that's it. So I need to address this pile of paper over here, which, what is this? Oh, these are the homework packets. Where their stories were located, and I don't really know why I collected these. Oh, I do know why I collected it back. I might want to put their stories up, and then their let's see if I can show you this. Post a note. This is the very quick, informal little rubric I made for their listening or their speaking grade today. So it just says speaking rubric, traveling the California Goldfields is what this was called. And then these are the 4 categories. And I just realized there's a number 1. Oh no, I understand why. The categories are voice projection, eye contact, expressive tone, spoke clearly. Pretty self-explanatory. Eye contact, they will get a 7 if they just look up at least once. If they don't look up at all, they get a 6. And then if they look up more than once, an 8. And then if they are just killing it with the eye contact, they'll get a 9 or a 10. That rarely happens. Expressive tone, like they're reading a story. Did it sound like they were reading a story? Was there inflection in their voice when they were sharing? And there was really only 1 or 2 students that got a 9 in that category, but they are really high readers also. And then speak clearly, were they easy to understand? So that's the rubric I made. I did have this idea when I was getting ready this morning that I'm going to enact, and I told the kids about it. And I was looking at the speaking standards, and I was like, what does it even actually say? What does the standard say? Because back in the day, the speaking grade we would pull was of them reciting a poem, which is cute, and that is one of the standards, but that was the only way that we were collecting a speaking grade. So I was like, let me see. Let me see what it says. So I looked, and it's a lot about their ability to have collaborative conversations, express thoughts, opinions, ideas, present information. So I said, why not use what you already do? So one thing I'm gonna do is I told the kids, every Friday, I'm going to have to create this rubric. They're going to evaluate each other within their groups as to whether or not they think their classmates did a good job contributing to conversations throughout the week. Because there are quite a few moments throughout the week where they are told to turn and talk to their neighbor, discuss as a group, share out. And so I said, we're gonna rate each other weekly. So they're gonna have an opportunity to self-reflect and grade themselves, but also give some constructive feedback to their peers. And I told them, now if you just are not being realistic, like I'm pretty aware of who's doing what. I don't see everything, but I have a good sense. And I said, there's some of you in here, you never speak. Like even when I say discuss with your group, you don't. You just kind of wait for your group to talk, and you just sit and kind of nod your head. And I said, so if you score yourself in a way that is just not a true reflection, I'm gonna be aware, and I'm also gonna have my own input. So let's just be honest about it. So I'm gonna do that. There's just so many ideas, so many thoughts I have that is causing me to be tired. So I'm trying to tell myself one thing at a time. So I'm gonna head home. Trying to really get myself on a proper routine for my own mental peace. I might check in when I get home. I won't. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna leave it as I don't know. Maybe. I'm really excited about my dinner, even though I was gonna go out. I think I made this before in a vlog where it's steak and panzella, and it was really delicious the last time I had it. So I'm just gonna leave us pending right now, and if worse comes to worse, I'll check in at home to actually close out the vlog and all of that. So I gotta go because I also realized I need to edit this vlog because I'm trying to do this on a daily basis now. We're gonna see how that goes. So let me go. I'll see you later. Okay, it is probably like 8 o'clock on the dot. I have showered. I've come home, walked the dog, showered, washed my face, cooked dinner, and I'm really just here to close the vlog. I don't know why I thought I was gonna come home and vlog because I get home and I have all these other things to do. So I'm having that for dinner. It's a Blue Apron meal. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same meal I made earlier this summer, steaks and panzella with olives and Parmesan. So I'm going to be eating that. Editing this video, I believe, and then going to bed. I don't even know if I'll be able to touch the math test tonight, and I'm gonna be okay with that because I have to cook. So tomorrow we have prep, and tomorrow's another day. So this is me learning how to give myself some grace. But if you enjoyed today's vlog, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And I would say you can leave a comment if you prefer a weekly format or daily format. I feel like I've asked that before and I have a sense of what some people prefer. So hopefully those of you that prefer the weekly format don't get annoyed or bothered. I mean, you can still watch the week just back to back to back on the weekend. You can just watch all 5 days, one after the other. And in some ways, I mean, if you like watching the vlogs, you get more content because I feel like you end up getting more total minutes. But we're gonna see how I feel about editing at home during the week, and we will go from there. So let me know if you'd like to leave a comment about something else. That would be great. Both those things help me out a great deal in terms of motivation and channel exposure. And as always, I hope that you guys are well. And if you're not well, please be well. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.